Well, today has started with heaps of drama. You're not going to believe this, but as I was filming some drone B-roll, the drone was doing a automated flyby and it crashed into those trees behind me there. And I thought, oh, no, how am I going to find the thing? I mean, I was actually on the road just pulling into this car park here, and have a look, it's a jungle down there. And I thought, oh, it's gone. I've lost my drone. Not only have I lost the drone, but I've lost all the footage that I had on the drone. Oh man, it's just so much stuff. Anyway, so what do you do when your drone crashes in a swamp? It's swampland down there, by the way. It's all wet. There's pools of water everywhere. What do you do? Well, what I did, I put my boots on and off I went into the jungle trying to find the drone. All I had on my screen was the final picture that it took, and that was it was hitting these trees and falling down. And I had to try and estimate. I was praying for a miracle, because it would take a miracle to find a drone in that jungle down there, I can tell you. Well, guess what? I found it. I found it, and it hit the tree, and I retraced the video clip and saw the shape of the trees that it was around. And I thought, oh, this is a gone. I'm going to have to drive all the way back to Hobart to get a new drone or something, or I don't know what I'm going to do. But have a look at it. There's not a scratch on it. I cannot believe that this thing has hit a tree, fallen down from whatever height it was, about 20 or 30 meters up, to hit the top of that tree there. I fired it up and it's flying like a dream. Everything still works. I thought, oh, something will be ripped off it. Oh man, hallelujah. My prayers have been answered. That's got to be a good omen for the rest of today. Oh, I'm exhausted already. The day's only young, but I'm looking forward to seeing what else we come up with. All right, I'm going to jump in the car, put this baby to bed for a while, and let's go. I've just come across this awesome little campsite called Ted's Beach, and have a look at it. Beautiful Lake Pedder down here, and there's a boat ramp, and people can camp here and fish here, and there's great facilities. This is what I love about Tasmania. They provide for people travelling around the place in awesome places like this. So you can camp here, they've got toilet blocks, they've got a place to eat and under shelter. So it's a really good spot. It's quite remote out here, way out in the southwest of Tasmania. Now, looking at the lake down here, that's a view to the west. The Milky Way core would set right over the top of that mountain range you can see in the distance. The problem is at this time of year, I'm in May, then that doesn't happen till about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So, gee, I'd have to be keen, wouldn't I? Because last night at 5 o'clock in the morning, I poked my head up out of my sleeping bag and looked outside. I had to get the frost off the window, and there was no stars. It was a bit cloudy at the time, but it was 0 degrees. So yeah, commitment required for that, but I also need clear skies. But I'm going to keep looking around. I'm driving down towards the other lake system. This is part of the hydroelectric scheme. There's power lines everywhere. I just saw a couple of guys up on top of one of them, a couple of 100 feet up in the air. Man, they've got more courage than I have. But anyway, I'll just have a squeeze around here and then move on. Wow, have a look at that. This would have to be one of the most beautiful views that I've seen on my trip around Tasmania. This is Lake Pedder, and I've just stopped off here to have lunch at a visitors centre here. It's a beautiful day. Oh man, where else would you want to be? So I'm going to investigate the lake systems around here and all of the different other places. There's ferns everywhere. There's a blue sky. Look at that. There's not even one cloud in the sky. I just hope it stays like that for tonight. Well guys, this is the world famous Gordon Dam. Just have a look at that. Well, I've got to say, this is an absolutely amazing feat of engineering. It's huge. And the amount of steps I had to climb down to get here, I've got to climb back up again. That's my problem. But gee, oh wow. Everything over here on this west coast of Tasmania is just amazing. Well, this is the southwest, and it's just beautiful. Rugged, but beautiful. Anyway, I'm going to go looking for some nightscapes. Over there I can see on this lake, there's a heap of dead trees. I don't know if you can see them behind me there, but there's a lot of dead trees. Now this lake was flooded, and of course most lakes that get flooded leave a lot of trees that just die because of the water logging, and I reckon they might make a good nightscape. The weather's looking pretty good, so it's mid-afternoon. I've got to start getting my skates on to find locations to shoot for tonight, so that's my next job. At the moment I'm just sightseeing, which is good. And I'm seeing some things that I probably may not ever see again. Oh boy, it's a long way down. Whew. If you're scared of heights, you do not come up here and look over the edge. These guys are coming down on their little device. Well, as you can see, these guys took the easy way down. They got that little trolley that goes down on cables. Looks like that's an awesome little ride that they just took. You wouldn't want to do it if you're scared of heights though. Looking out the window over that edge, I'll tell you what, that looks scary. Well, that was awesome, but I'm showing my lack of fitness coming up those stairs at the end there. I'm just a little bit exhausted. Never mind, you only live once, don't you? And that is an amazing sight. I recommend if you're in this area, come and visit the Gordon Dam. Well, I've made my way back to Lake Pedder where I had lunch, and just have a look at this beautiful crystal clear water. I think I've got to have to shoot here tonight. It is just beautiful. There's little jetties and piers here, which fantastic photographically and compositionally. The only problem is that there's a couple of lights over here. Now, I don't know if they'll all come on tonight, but I'll find out, I guess, and I'll just have to work around those. But yeah, oh, just have a look at that. It is so beautiful. Oh, this is amazing. This is amazing. The water is just so calm and clear. Oh, gee. I'm not even sure what direction I'm facing. I think it's more south. I'll make do with whatever direction I'm facing. This is beautiful. So I've made my way back to Ted's Beach to camp for the night. So I'm going to rustle myself up some food here, enjoy the sunset, beautiful reflections back at Lake Pedder, and that's where I'm going tonight. When it gets dark, I'm going to attempt to shoot that pier and the water side there. There's a fair bit of cloud coming over, so I'm not quite sure what we're going to get. It's predicted to be a dreary day tomorrow onwards. So let's have something to eat and we'll get into it a little bit later. As soon as I arrived back at the location of my shoot for the night, I noticed a very strong red-orange airglow in the sky. Now, this wasn't necessarily unusual, as I'd already seen quite a bit of it in Tasmania. It did, however, indicate something was happening in the upper atmosphere in this part of the world that was somewhat special. I continued shooting around the area of the jetties and the lake, seeking out the rising Milky Way core on the eastern side of the mountains. It became very cold and the mist was gently rising from the still water. I ventured out onto the jetty to take a selfie and casually noticed the familiar but faint glow of an aurora appearing over the water low on the horizon. As I stood there, it was as if time slowed down. But during this time, the intensity of the glow on the southern horizon began to increase. I was fixated on it, but I had no idea what was in store for me for the rest of the night. I quickly positioned my backup cameras to capture this awe-inspiring event, and even though I was busily running around, I still felt that time was slowing down and I made myself gaze into the sky. I had to take it in. I had to sear this amazing view into my memory. Just as suddenly as the aurora had appeared, it began to intensify and grow larger and much higher into the sky above. I knew this was possibly a once-in-a-lifetime event. I couldn't believe what my eyes were seeing, but it was so very real and simply awe-inspiring. Well, I think you'd agree that my decision to come over here chasing good weather to the southwest region of Tasmania has paid off big time. It's quite interesting. At the moment, you can see in the background there's rain coming. The weather's closing in, and I went to bed last night, it was about 2-3 degrees Celsius. I woke up this morning, it was 11 degrees Celsius. So obviously there's a lot of cloud cover. What a night. Man, oh man. Where do I start? Well, let's go back to the beginning of yesterday. The day started with a bit of adventure and drama, and I prayed for a miracle. Remember? My drone. Whoever finds a drone that's hit a clump of trees, you don't even know where it is. I did. My prayer was answered. Then, as the day progressed, I was looking for locations to shoot nightscapes. I had lunch at Lake Pedder and thought this is a beautiful place, but then I kept going looking for other places. I just couldn't settle anywhere else. I saw a few other spots where I thought, yeah, maybe that could work, but it just didn't ring true. So I made my way back to Lake Pedder, as you saw. And oh man, the photography there started pretty good, and I was shooting all of those scenes, and suddenly the sky exploded with colour. And I have never seen anything like that before in my whole life. It was magical. So another prayer was answered. Absolutely. What an adventure. What an adventure. Thank you so much for following my journey. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what I'm going to do to follow this. But the first thing I'm going to do is grab something to eat, clean myself up. I didn't sleep well last night. I was just buzzing. I was just absolutely buzzing. But there's more to see in this great state of Tasmania, and I'm looking forward for you guys to come along with me for the ride. If you want to subscribe to this channel, you'll see more of this type of content. I can't guarantee you'll see auroras like we saw last night, but I'll give it a go. I'll see what I can find. Anyway, I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks so much again for following. I'll see you then.